here only because you were aiding others.
The original Watchers, too, were selfish. They wanted the knowledge for its own sake, not as a tool to be used. And that attitude triggered the virus.
Uh-oh, the beacon's getting ready to guide us someplace. But where?
Seems to me there's only one way to find out.
Imagery. So when you talk about internal and external aspects of things, so biblically, it took Adam to have the entire Bible generation people, to be born, and then Christ for him to like figure out, the beginning and the end, like for whatever being, whatever like the entirety of, you could say everyone from Adam to Christ, like again, like just on a metaphoric level, this entire family tree of everybody is like one being. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's all these mirror images of itself. So it's like you have trillions of cells in your body, you could have trillions of descendants. So it's like the aspect of creating your external family so that you can learn from it, or being able to create the things that you could say your descendants would create. So I look at this as stories of like Cronus eating his own children, and like these type of stories. If you're able to, like, you could say circulate your own energy or whatever, it's like a lot of the it's like a lot of people's creativity and energy and vitality gets lost through not necessarily having children, but just how their energy gets put out, if that makes sense. So this is, it's pretty much the same thing with the mirror aspect. It's just understanding relationships and understanding lessons from each other.
It's literally like a story. Just like the tarot cards, it's like the food, the first card. Like, I'm just about to step off of this ledge and go on this journey, and then there's the magician, and then it's the high priestess, then the empress, if I'm not mistaken. But bam, and it's like a little storyline, you know what I'm saying? Same thing with the zodiac signs, like Aries, head first, firstborn, first zodiac sign. Like Aries don't see nobody else around, so all I know is me. You know what I'm saying? Like by default, you know what I'm saying? Like again, it's like a storyline, and that energy, comes with, again, like a certain emotions, aka waters being created, stuff like that, I don't know what video I may have talked about that in, where I was like, being in a realm where they didn't have any chairs, and when a chair is created, that creates, new thoughts, ideas, aka new gods. Now you got the god of laziness. Now that you got a lawn chair, because now a person can really sit back now. You know what I'm saying? Now that creates, like again, like it creates like one little thing, create all kind of other different little worlds and stuff. And that's what it is too, is like for us to be aware and accountable of, that energy.
But it's one being dealing with itself, because in essence, that's what like, think about schizophrenia. I done spoke to this before. I did a video, one of my psychedelic videos, most likely, because it was on a trip. And I remember like having a trip where I was saying like, damn, like, there's a part of source energy that has like a schizophrenic energy to it too. You know what I'm saying? And it makes up all these characters, or turns itself into all these characters when it's just dealing with itself the whole time. You know what I'm saying?
This is not mental illness.
I mean split mind. This monster isn't David, it's a parasite of some kind. You see, another consciousness inside of him.
What does that mean?
This thing burrowed into David's brain when he was a boy, maybe even a baby, and it has been there, feeding on him ever since.
Memories.
Memories, exactly. Every time David sees this thing or realizes it's there, this creature makes him forget it. Rewrites his memory.
Is that why we couldn't see it?
I think so. But I think it made you forget as well. And the power of this thing.
You're saying it has power, not David.
No. David is a very, very powerful mutant. He has to be, otherwise this thing would split him apart.
You're calling this thing it, but what else could it be if not another mutant?
An older mutant. Its consciousness separated from its body, you see, and living inside David for 30 years.
Like the Saturn return. But like the videos again, parasitic energies, these ancient beings who exploded themselves, nuked themselves, and gotta live off for other beings, through a parasitic energy. But this Legion, and Legion, basically David is quote unquote Legion, and he's Professor Xavier's son. So Professor Xavier's son. But yeah, this is a little series. This is a dope little series right here. But again, I like series or just shows that break down that whole little connection with the mental astral, because again, they get into the astral planes, they get into the dream realm, they get into a lot of the psychological archetypes and perspectives in this. So this one's pretty good, you know what I'm saying? But
Because again, it's like if you create a body, if you had a T-Rex today walking around, it's going to need a lot of food to sustain itself. And we don't live in a time period with all the different animals and trees where it's like, you know what I'm saying?
right.
So if we take ourselves to that God level and stay at that level without a way to sustain that, we're going to look like Gollum or some shit.
Right. So that makes sense, again, like why certain beings became, parasitic or, things of that nature. And again, you're talking about that's more so from the extreme internalization, like, like again, like going inside so much to where we burn up. So I guess what's the extreme of I guess the extreme of going outside yourself is not necessarily burning up yourself, but I guess that would be like just giving out your energy so much to where you just kind of dissipate.
Exactly. You have a secret society that they internalize everything so much that they keep the information a secret, and it's burning out from the inside out. Then you have the average person who's like working a 9 to 5, and their energy is being siphoned, like a person in the Matrix who's still like hooked up to the machine.
Right.
Extremes, you know what I'm saying? Those would be the two extremes. Or you can say the computer, like the machines that are controlling the Matrix itself, if you want to say that. It could be an extreme too, but still,